trails and tails. It's alright. With all those camels, the armor trimmings, bamboo rafts, sure. It's incredible how far we've come since 2011. Are you kidding me? Back then, we only ever had oak and grass. Come a long way in 12 years, so why don't we celebrate Minecraft? In this video, I'm going to start Minecraft in version 1.0, the original version released for Minecraft. And every 5 days, we're going to update to a new version until we hit 1.20. We all cool with that? Cool. If you enjoy videos like this, then please consider giving it a like, because it does help out channel quite a lot. And if you enjoy content like this entirely, then why not subscribe? I'm aiming to get 200k by the end of the year, and your subscription definitely would matter. All right, let's do this. So, tree cutting montage! Should probably get an axe, though. Well, that scared the jingles out of me. Anyway, axe. So, where was that? Oh, right, montage. Yeah, I think I'm good for wood for now. So after doing the basics that you would normally do, including blocking my sword, which is crazy. Remember when we used to be able to do that, boys? I thought it was a cool idea to potentially talk about each version as I go through them and tell you what kind of things were added to the game at the time. But I obviously can't do that. Let's bring in the expert. Dr. Havenhand here, Minecraft expert. It is a pleasure to meet you. And since better looking Havenhand is playing, I'm going to do my best to cover each update once we get to them. So I hope you get used to this ugly mug. When Minecraft 1.0 was released back in 2011, it was the first time the game was officially not in beta, and they added a couple of features that nowadays are staple in Minecraft, like brewing stands, potions, Nether fortress, and of course the big one at the end and everything in it. They also added like lily pads, but you know, I guess that's what really put the adventure into the adventure update, I guess. Oh, that's all I'm needed for? All right, I'll see you in 1.1. I set up a basic shack for the time being. We will call it home, and after grabbing some cobble and cooking some food, the night came. I had very little food, I had no bed, and honestly not a great start for a day one. I was a bit stressed sat in this house until... Everything is perfect. I don't know why I'm complaining. So let's head out quickly and find some... sheep. Perfect. I did keep being jumped by spiders, like 3 of them. So I don't know where they kept coming from, but I was able to deal with them. And I got back home and slept my first night away. Hey, Mr. Creeper. How's it going? What you doing? Not a lot, I guess. Having a good time? All right, cool. Also, his friend popped by. I learned in old Minecraft you could open doors by left-clicking them. That could have been terrible. All right, we do have a long way to go. So the best place to start is to set up some farms. I quickly grabbed some seeds and set up said farm. I also collected a little bit of sand because I wanted to get some windows in my terrible shack. Looking at the shack, it is really sad to say that definitely made worse houses. I mean, it looks so basic and terrible. This is far from the worst house I've ever made. The next step on day 3 was to get myself some armor set up, and so I began digging down. I very quickly found myself some coal and a nice bit of iron. I also crashed a little bit, which was fun, I guess. Anyway, after finding myself a little bit more iron, I found myself some lava. Turns out that old Minecraft, very old Minecraft, never had sounds for lava, so that's kind of scary to think about. To be honest with you, I was actually struggling to find myself a cave, though I was finding plenty of iron in the strip mine that I was doing, which was pretty good. Honestly though, with it just being a strip mine, I was getting bored. Honestly, it kind of stuck down here. I take it back, this is the greatest game ever. I started a classic Y11 strip mine. That's where I used to find all the diamonds back in the day. Did find myself plenty of gold, which is neat. And the strip mine honestly wasn't too great otherwise. I was still finding plenty of iron and plenty of gold, but when it comes to diamonds, yeah, I just couldn't find any whatsoever. I kept going on day 4, found myself some lapis. That'll be useless until about day 40. And then I heard it. It was only for a second, but I heard some water. I finally had found myself a cave. Found myself some more lapis. Go on then. I guess I'll mine all the lapis I can get. I kept going through the cave, finding myself some more silent lava, found myself more iron, actually finding where the water originated from. That was quite nice. This creeper did try to go full commando on me, and if it wasn't for the fact that it was an idiot, yeah, I think that might have been a problem. He could have walked around the lava, but I guess we move on. A creeper's he's or it's or hey, let's get distracted by iron and not ask those kind of questions. Oh, a skeleton. Ow. I honestly forgot how much damage skeletons can do in this version, but here we are. Gave me enough of an excuse to stop what I was doing and make myself some armor. Can't believe shift clicking isn't a thing, but here we are. I actually am wondering when they decided to add that into the game. These old Minecraft versions are really dumb. I'm so sorry, Merchant. Can you please forgive me? And yeah, this pretty much summed up the rest of my day. Caving. Honestly, on day 5, from an iron sense, this cave was fantastic. How many times can you say that in 1.20? Also, apparently I interrupted a creeper party. Sure, why not? Now, I could show you endless clips of me finding iron or finding coal, like so much, but there literally is 0 clips of me finding diamonds because I just couldn't find any whatsoever. This water over here is a bit weird. That pretty much sums up day 5. All right, then, let's move on to the next version. Minecraft version 1.1 added spawn eggs. Oh, okay. Beaches, hills. To give it a little bit of credit, it was only released 2 months after 1.0, which is the shortest amount of time a version is updated from one to the other, as far as I'm aware. It did also add super flat, so 1.1 was a terrible update. So the plan on day 6 was to just get myself a little bit more iron and a little bit more coal before heading back to the surface. And honestly, the plan was going really well until I made one of the biggest mistakes you can make as a Minecraft player. Here's me turning all of the wood that I had into torches, and then here's me about 30 seconds later breaking my pickaxe with no wood in my inventory, and I am stuck underground with only one way up. There is nothing more embarrassing than getting caught in a cave with the only way to punch up. I'm sorry, it's really embarrassing. To be fair, I was getting myself a little bit lucky. I kept finding gravel, and before I knew it, it was actually back up the top. That could have been a lot worse. Whilst heading back as well, I was starting to kill some animals. I forgot in old Minecraft, pigs aren't guaranteed to drop pork chops. That's a terrible feature, Minecraft. What are you doing? Anyway, I cooked up the pork chops that I did have. On day 7, I did a little bit of home improvement. I got some cobble flooring, which was quite nice. I set up the basics of a storage shack. Can't really put the chests next to each other, which is another weird feature of Minecraft. Also, I promise this is the last time I do this, but the music's just so good. To be honest with you, today was a day of just making my life a little bit easier in the future, like adding water to the crops to make them grow faster or going pig hunting for food. At least that was the plan until both my sword and my axe broke, so I guess I'll have to run home or walk home. I didn't have any food that was cooked. On day 8, I realized that playing old Minecraft it feels a bit weird. Like here I am next to a furnace cooking food, but without the furnace sounds, the furnace sound effects, it's just silent. I mean, at least the food stays good, but still, it's just a bit weird. Anyway, after making myself a nice fresh set of iron tools, I started making myself a storage shack, and it actually looked like a shack. Oh hey, there's a wolf over there. I now have a wolf friend. Today was a lot of building and then getting myself some more wood and then using that wood to build and then running out of wood, so I had to go and collect more wood. I did get myself another sheep though, and I was able to take a nap. On day 9, I was able to get the roof finished. I replaced the floors, I got the doors in. I just needed a little bit of glass, so it was back to sand collecting. This is fun. I'm having fun. So after grabbing 20 pieces of glass, I thought that would be enough. I was wrong. I only need 6 more though, which was the exact amount that was cooked by the time I got back there, so that was pretty lucky. I finished today by collecting myself a little bit of sugarcane. I mean, you never don't need sugarcane. And you see this desert? Really wanted to go explore it, but I made the decision to hold off for now since I didn't think desert temples were a thing yet, and I would love to find me one of those desert temple things, you know what I'm saying? And on day 10, I quickly set up myself some sugarcane, and I wanted to get myself some fence to make an animal pen. This is how I used to make fences, by the way. I personally hate it. Well, with the fences set up, I need to now actually get an animal to put in said fence, so I ran off into the world. Another fun fact about old Minecraft for ya: breaking a fully grown crop doesn't guarantee that it'll give you seeds. Isn't that fun? Also, chickens follow wheat. Do what you will with that information. It was a different time, okay? I finished today by grabbing myself a little bit of wood, and well, that pretty much finished 1.1. Let's move on. So looking into 1.2, and it actually added more things than I thought. To give you a quick rundown, it added jungles, including all jungle wood, leaves, pretty much everything jungle related. It added the ability for iron golems to spawn in villages, and most importantly, it added desert wells. So it really was the biggest update yet. The first thing I noted on day 11 was that the doors had moved. Not really sure why, let's just fix that. So I picked up all the torches I had and headed out. I started killing some pigs along the way, and I wanted to move into some new terrain to generate some new wool to go mining in. Still have next to no diamonds, so I really want to get that set up as quick as possible. Also, water doesn't negate fall damage in this version. Yep, that's just old Minecraft for you. Anyway, by the time it hit night, I began to dig down, straight down where I found, well, diamonds. Look, you guys didn't see me x-rayed. Get that? I mean, oh wow, cool. 3 diamonds, isn't that neat? Anyway, I'm now at the bottom of the world, so I'm going to start strip mining. And whilst I am strip mining, I am just going to quickly mention that old Minecraft doesn't have a day counter in the F3. Because I'm in the caves, I can't see the sun or moon or the daylight cycle go through, so I'm having to guess how long days have gone gone here, and though I'm fairly confident that 3 days had passed at underground, that's basically what I'm going off of. Let me give you a quick rundown of what happened in those days. So I find myself a mineshaft and dealt with all the mobs in there. Got me some melon seeds. I was finding plenty of iron and plenty of gold, but like usual, I wasn't finding any diamonds. I was even at the bedrock layer and I still wasn't finding anything. Also, I missed this feature where if you're at bedrock, the world gets really dark. I don't know, that was just a cool feature. I quickly stopped to grab myself some obsidian. It took way longer than it should have. I don't know why it took me so long. I found myself a slime, sure, and then I found myself more diamonds. With 4 extra diamonds, I can now make myself a sword and enchant table. I got myself some more iron. I got jump scared by a cave spider. I got jumped by more cave spiders and was nearly cornered by a creeper. That could have gone really badly. I broke my sword, and so I decided to take a little bit of a cooking break and make myself an even nicer sword. Look at all that blueness. Oh, it's better than ever. Anyway, I felt like I was done caving, so I think it's time for me to finally head back. As I got to the surface, it was turning to day, and as it was turning night when I first headed down, this made me think that it was day 15. We'll find out later. Let's head back home and collect some more food along the way. Even with this update, pigs sometimes still don't drop pork chops. Isn't that neat? Anyway, let's set up ourselves some more furnaces and get cooking. How do you make a book? Like, what do you need to do here? Why is it this way? Oh, it's just paper. Cool. I was able to make myself an enchant table. Things are really coming up, Havenhand, I'll tell you that. The last thing to do on day 15 was to pretty much make my house look a little bit better than just a wooden box. It really wasn't going to be much, but it's going to be better than just a wooden box, I'll tell you that. Also, these old slabs, even though they're wooden, you need a pickaxe to mine them. I mean, I don't know how many things I can point out about old Minecraft that's just a bit goofy. Well, it's Dr. Haven again, and it's 1.3 time. There was a couple of basic changes. The main two worth talking about are desert and jungle temples have now been added to the game, as well as emeralds and trading. Though the trading with emeralds at this point is really, really basic compared to what they upgraded it to. This is where they first added it. Again, there was a couple of other changes, but nothing really worth talking about. But what you're telling me, Doctor, is that temples are in the game, huh? I guess I can finally go and check out this desert and see if I can find one. Well, that was a waste of a day. I wasn't ready to give up just yet on day 17. God, I forgot how terrible boats used to be. I mean, look at the boat. I mean, is that 2 legs sticking underneath the boat? Do I have 4 legs when I'm on this boat? I don't understand. Oh, the music playing. It's fine. I'm pretty sure it just does this to make me forget how angry I am playing this game. Anyway, I needed an update to my snacks, and whilst killing pigs, I learned 2 things. Firstly, killing mobs now gives you experience, which means getting levels is going to be much easier. And more importantly, now every single time you kill a pig, they will always drop at least 1 pork chop. It's game changing. Oh, hey, there's a jungle over there. Now, when I tell you I searched this jungle from here to Timbuktu, I searched it everywhere, so I can confidently say there is unfortunately no temple in this jungle. The high ground did not help. So I kept going on day 18, not really much except pigs, so I killed them. I killed them all, even the women and the children. Star Wars. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. I found myself a village on day 19. There was no blacksmith, but there was 2 libraries, which means that by collecting the books, I pretty much had gotten all the books that I need for a full level 30 enchanter. So after killing even more pigs, I returned home. I began cooking up all of the pork, so I now have food. It's not going to be a problem anymore. I think that one's clear. I also set myself up a melon farm. Took me long enough. I mean, seriously, I had those melons for like 10 days. And so on day 20, I quickly made myself some books. It turns out at this point, you actually need leather. Luckily for me, though, I had exactly 5 leather in the chest, the exact amount I needed to make the rest of the books. And just like that, I had a level 30 enchanter set up. I then set up this really terrible outside for it. I have no idea what I was trying to do here. God, this looks awful. And then I worked on making myself some paths from all the houses, huts, and everything in between. It wasn't much progress done today, but you know what? It still made the place look a little better. Hope you're not tired of this face. Dr. Havenhand is back to talk about 1.4, dubbed the pretty scary update. Yeah, I actually added a couple of cool things here. For example, anvils, carrots, and potatoes, new potions, bats, witches, and witch huts, and the biggest addition, of course, is wither skeletons and withers. Of course, alongside those, you would also get the beacon, meaning from this point to any point, I can go and find the wither when I'm ready. I mean, I'm not even close to being ready, but having the option is still nice. Still Steve, by the way. All Minecraft just does that to you. I have 2 stacks of cooked pork, by the way, so again, we eat and we ain't gonna starve anytime soon. Anyway, the Nether was calling to me, so I went in. Place is kind of gross, not gonna lie, but there is a fortress right there. Now, I'm not wanting to go too far into the Nether for a huge variety of reasons, but I would like to get myself a couple of rods to get that job ticked off, and so I went into the fortress and started killing blazes. Got myself 1 blaze rod, explode pretty quickly. I then went on to kill 5 more blazes and got nothing from them, which was very fun. On day 22, I pretty much just camped the spawner. Things were going very, very slow, at least at first. It did actually pick up quite quickly. Don't get me wrong though, it was still taking a while. In fact, it took up until the end of the day for me to get enough blaze rods, which was only 15. I actually wanted more, but it's enough. Let's skedaddle home. There is one problem though. When I entered the Nether, I never made a note of where my portal was, and so I'm kind of a little bit lost here. And so on day 23, after wandering for about 5 minutes, I'll be honest with you, I got lucky. Very, very lucky, because I had no idea where I was. The sun was rising, which made me think it was day 23. At least that's what I'm going with. And I decided that I wanted to get myself some more diamonds. And so I chopped down a couple of trees to get some wood and headed out into a new area to see if I can get some new generation for some more caves. So I found myself a nice island to dig down to. I dug down and found myself a ravine. And in that ravine, there was a side cave that had 3 more diamonds. Isn't that neat? The note that I made about day 24 is that I'm in team newer Minecraft is better. The newer Minecraft is better than old Minecraft, but there is something about playing these old versions, especially caving, that's just so nice. I can't really explain it. Maybe it's just nostalgia taking over, but it just was so nice. Finding diamonds as well just feels so much more rewarding. It's really hard to explain. Now, I did spend all of day 24 and all of day 25 just searching for pretty much anything, but apart from these diamonds here, which got me to 5 diamonds, I found no extra diamonds. These caves might be relaxing, but they sure as schnitzel ain't rewarding. So yeah, that's how I ended 1.4. At least that's what I thought, because as you can see from the screenshot of when I entered my footage, you'll notice that it still says 1.3. Turns out that I may have accidentally forget to update this version. Oopsie daisy, quickly doctor take over. 1.5 is cool. I just nailed it. So 1.5 was dubbed the Redstone update, so there's a lot of new Redstone things added, and as a non-Redstone user, it really doesn't affect me that much. But I mean, they added quartz, so that was cool. I did have another thought on day 26. I mean, I did technically update 2 versions, but 1.5 looks so different to 1.3, and I don't know if that's just me. Give me your opinions in the comments. I was done caving at this point, by the way, so I decided to head home. Hey, I'm home. That was pretty easy. It was night as well. So I was thinking on day 27, I should probably save these 30 levels until I get to 1.8. At that point, they changed the enchant setup, so you only have to use 3 levels rather than the entire 30. But where's the fun in that? I decided to enchant at level 30 on a diamond pickaxe and got myself silk touch. Not amazing, but honestly, I can make that work. I also remember that I actually had animals in the paddock, so I decided to breed them. Now, where the second sheep went, I have no idea, but we move on. I should probably fill the paddock with what I can, though. The problem I've got is that pretty much every animal around me was sheep. They just seem to have spawned all around me. And so I can't get food for them for quite a while. I will settle on bringing them to the paddock for the time being. Don't get me wrong, it was still a hassle to get them in. They unlocked on me. They wouldn't get over the fence. It was just a bit of a pain. So the 2 big things I realized I need on day 28 was I need myself some diamonds and I need myself some levels. And I figured out that mining diamonds give me both of those things. And so I headed out yet again to find myself some new terrain. About 10 minutes later, I found myself some new land and instantly started digging down. Pretty much instantly found myself a mine shaft. It went all the way down to diamond layer where I found myself 5 diamonds and I was able to silk touch 5 diamonds. Pretty good start to caving trip, I must say. Now again, there is no day counter in this version, so I'm kind of going off of what I can, noting that when I entered the caves, it was about 50 minutes long, which means the extra 40 minutes should be day 29 and 30. So here's what happened during that 40-minute period. Firstly, how I didn't die here, I will just simply never know. I mean, I can't even make a joke about it. I then was finding myself plenty of gold, but since this is an ultra hardcore, it's kind of useless. I triggered an enderman, or at least I think I did. It made the noise like a triggered enderman, but he wasn't really that bothered. I don't know. I killed him anyway, just to be safe. Found myself 2 more veins of diamonds, both of them being 2, so I got an extra 4 diamonds, which was pretty good, before being jumped by the cave spider boys, so that was a little bit rude. There was a minecart chest in that web, so I decided to get it. Nothing worthwhile in there, so, you know, whatever. And then I got away with dying again. I mean, I do not know how this creeper did not kill me. I am so incredibly lucky. But that 40 minutes was now up. We are now moving on to 1.6. So 1.6 was dubbed the horse update. Do I even need to say the 1.6 horse update? Do I even need to talk about it? All right, quickly. It added horses. Shocker, I know. They also added donkeys and mules and then other basic stuff like hay bales and coal blocks. So yeah, horses. Nice. I kept caving on day 31. Got myself a golden chest plate with 4 on, so I'm sure why not. I found myself a spawner that had an efficiency 5 book. My goodness, that is nice. Got myself a little bit of gold. I then found myself a minecart chest that had an efficiency 4 book. I mean, you know, I would be more excited if, you know, didn't just get the efficiency 5. And then I got myself a couple more diamonds. And even a couple more after that, which was quite nice. By day 32, I was pretty much just circling the cave. Took me a while to actually find myself a new area of the cave where I found myself some creepers, some gold, and even some more diamonds. It is worth mentioning again that I did nearly get creepered again, but yet again I got away with it. That's the third time's a charm. Next time I don't think I'll be so lucky. And with this last vein of diamonds right here, I was pretty happy that I had enough diamonds for the time being. Let's head home. By the time I got back home, it was day 33, or more importantly, night 33. So after quickly dealing with this creeper, I took a nap and I started cooking my things and storing my stuff away on day 34. I was so close to level 30, yet so far away it felt like. And I was also finally ready to use all this gold. There was a reason why I was collecting so much gold, and that was to make an enchanted golden apple. You more than likely will never see me mine another single piece of gold. I also realized on this day that I've never actually been to the village that was been right next to me this entire time. To be fair, I had a pretty good reason. It was a 1.0 village, which are usually useless. For example, in 1.0, did you know that blacksmiths didn't even have chests, or pretty much anything for that matter? It was kind of sucky. The plan was just to wait until the night, so I did that. The idea was if I was able to kill myself some mobs, I should be able to get myself some easy access levels, getting myself to level 30. I did accidentally summon a zombie horde, which in this case is actually not that bad. Plenty of zombies means plenty of levels. I also was able to get myself a potato from a zombie, which was pretty nice. Anyway, after spending most of the night and a little bit of the morning on day 30, here we go. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I rage quit. I came back the next day as a real life day, not Minecraft day, and I planted myself some potatoes, and that was pretty much about it. I was pretty much just getting ready for the next day and the next update. Speaking of, the update that changed the world. 1.7 focused on getting a bunch of new biomes in the game. For example, the savanna, mesa, rooftop forest, birch forest, taiga, and mega taiga, as well as the deep ocean were all added in this update. That of course includes all their wood types and saplings and blocks you would usually find in the biome, i.e. like redstone in mesas. It did indeed change the world, if I do say so myself. And so on day 36, I decided to go and explore some of the world that's been changed. Jeez, you guys seen this enchant glitch? My god, is that powerful. Also, 1.7 now has the ability so I can actually set up my hotkeys. Thank god, I was getting so fed up of scrolling. I got to some new generation pretty quickly, and so now it was time to go and explore the world. I found a savanna by day 37. I picked all the wood. Turns out that your achievements reset at this point, so I got wood for the first time apparently, only 37 days in. I also wanted to try and get as many saplings as I could, so I have a nice variety of wood, so I have the savanna sapling, not a problem. I did spend a while searching this desert to see if I could find myself a temple. It was a very big desert, but sadly, like earlier, I was pretty much just wasting my time here. I also did find horses. Only I was able to find myself a saddle, but on day 38, I found it. Over the hill and... oh, it was just a village, never mind. There wasn't even a blacksmith here. Nor was the carrots. Like, what was the even point in this? To be fair, about a minute later, I found myself a better village. This one actually had carrots. Crazy, I know. Also, there was a cactus that was 6 blocks high. There's no world record or anything, but I just thought it was kind of cool. Though my quest for a temple, sadly, goes on. So after some more casual pig slaughter on day 39, my god, I found it. Oh, no, wait, that's just a well, never mind. I just want to find myself a temple or a roof forest, and I can go home. Please. It's what I said, and I think a Minecraft god heard me because I finally found myself a temple. The years that it's taken to find this. Let's get in there and get the loot. 3 diamonds and a protection free book. Also got myself a blacksmith over here. It was about as useful as you'd expect. And so I began heading back home on day 40. And yeah, there's not really much for me to say here. What, you want to watch me run back for 20 minutes? Is that really what you want? Well, tough. I'm not gonna edit that. It ain't happening. Here's me edited back to spawn. Suck it up. Anyway, we can finally go to sleep and move on to the next update. 1.8 is here, the version that locked PvP players for a generation, otherwise known as the Bountiful update. The biggest thing it did was change the way enchanting works. You no longer have to use all your levels, and you have to use lapis now. It also added a bunch of useless blocks like dorite, andesite, granite. Ocean monuments were also added, and mutton was added from sheep, which is about time. They also added like rabbits and banners. Yeah, a lot of little things really added in this version that made it a bigger thing overall, but a good update, I must say. So what I thought was day 41, things got a little complicated. Long story short, this was the version that added the day counter, and after checking the day counter, it said I was on day 44. Like I say, I thought I was on day 41, so either the day counter has glitched out and it's actually added on a couple of extra days, which I personally doubt, or I've made a mistake whilst caving and miscounted my days and I'm actually 3 days short. To keep things simple, I'm just gonna say from this point onwards is day 44, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm flying through 1.8, let's be honest. Also, what happened to these wooden slabs, which is weird. Also, the Nether portal was that 1.8 just messed with my world, man. I don't know. Well, I still need to get myself plenty of levels, and I can now go to the Nether and mine myself some quartz. The only problem is there's gonna be none around me because obviously the Nether doesn't spawn with quartz, so I do have to head out a little bit. Did only take me 5 minutes to be fair, to the point where I found a huge area that had plenty of quartz. Other than the occasional gas attack, this was relatively easy and my levels were flying up. And on day 45, I got myself for 30 levels, a little over actually. I didn't notice when I originally got there, but a little extra levels never hurt anybody. But we can finally head home. By the time I did get home, the sun was setting, which was just enough time for me to go ahead and enchant myself a pickaxe. Fortune 2, you say? I mean, I'll take it. Also, I don't know why, but my dog collars are now orange. I didn't change them, but I guess 1.8 updated that too. That was a bit weird. Anyway, let's go to sleep. Dr. Haven, I'm back to talk about another update, and it was the combat update. Ironically, killing PvP for most players by adding timed attack shields, entities, and elytras. As a old UAC player, I have to say that this update is an F tier. So they made door sounds worse. Now that's fun. Anyway, I have 18 diamonds to mine, so listen to the XP sound. God, that's even worse as well. 31 diamonds I got thanks to the Fortune 2. I can definitely make that work. Now, I could just do basic enchants on them, but the idea of having a fully enchanted gear with level 30 enchants seems like a really good idea. To do that, though, I am going to need to get myself 48 levels, which, oh boy, that's a lot. So I packed my pickaxes away, brought the efficiency 4 one, worth slightly mentioning that the wooden slabs are even worse now. Don't ask me how. Just 1.9 stuck in like usual, and it was into the Nether to mine as much quartz as possible. And it may have taken an hour getting me to day 49, but I had got myself 48 levels. I am officially done with the Nether for a while. All right, let's give a quick rundown of everything that I got. Got myself some protection 3 boots, which was nice. Protection 4s on the leg. I just got 4 and 2 on the chest plate, which is a bit protection 3 on the helmet though. I'll definitely take that. Sharpness 4 on my sword, which was really good. I got a steel touch axe, which was just ew. And I got myself an efficiency 3 diamond shovel as well. All in all, arguably apart from the axe and the chest plate, this was a really good setup. I did keep forgetting about the paddock of animals that I set up, but to be honest with you, with all the pig slaughter I've done, I'm really not struggling for food anytime soon. And I decided at this point that I was going to be as ready as I'll ever be to fight the Ender Dragon. I just need to get myself some Ender Pearls. So for the rest of the day, I just waited for the night. To be 100% honest with you, this first night of trying to get Ender Pearls was a complete failure. I forgot how annoying it was to fight Endermen with fire aspect. I really did try and get them, but as you can see, because they're on fire, they just kept teleporting away and I wasn't able to get them. I ended up using my axe to finish off the night, but sadly for me, I didn't get any extra Ender Pearls by doing this either. I did though remember on day 50 that I did pick up a protection 3 book earlier, and because my 4 and 2 chestplate is just 4, and putting that on there seemed like a really good idea. I did want to collect myself a little bit of wood, but realized with my silk hook chassis it was definitely going to be a slow process. But then I remembered that I have the spare efficiency 4 book, so I decided to put that onto my axe. Also, it may have taken 50 days, guys, but I did it. I made myself a crafting table. Hold the applause, everybody. I know it's a great achievement, but calm down. I made the crafting table because I wanted to make some extra stairs. It turns out the roof that I made, the storage shack, it kind of didn't look very good, so I put the effort into actually try and make it a little better. It isn't perfect. I mean, when armor build perfect, but for the most part, I can happily say that it's done. Just like 1.9. Thank God. Let's move on. Now, let me tell you something. 1.10 is not 1.9, but it ain't much better either. The Frostburn update added polar bears, strays, husks, and fossils. That's the highlight. I'm not even kidding. No wonder Minecraft went through a rough patch around this area. I will give it some credit though. It did also add bone blocks here, which though they weren't going to be added until the Nether until much later, I still want to give a small amount of credit that 1.10 deserves by adding that into the game. So first things first, on day 51, let's fix up the awful looking enchant table. I decided to use acacia wood because, well, I didn't have any other use for the acacia wood, I'll be honest with you. I did need a little bit more wood to finish it, and unfortunately I had to wait for these leaves to decay. Sadly, I wasted way too much time just standing around so the sun was already coming down. At least I can go back on the Enderman hunt. So to be 100% honest with you, finding Enderman wasn't an issue here, and neither was killing them, but actually getting pearls? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I only got 1 ender pearl for 10 endermen that I killed. It was a really rough time. I will say by the end of the night, it was actually picking up quite nicely. I had got myself 4 ender pearls, which was a good start. And on day 52, since I am on track to fight the ender dragon, I do need to get myself a really good bow. And so I returned to the Nether to get myself 30 levels, and when I got to the quartz, I realized I made a small mistake. The pickaxe that I brought was only silk touch, and it was too far away to go back and replace it, so I decided to just silk touch a couple of stacks of quartz and then bring it back and mine it when I'm back in the overworld. I had that done by the end of day 52, and I picked up 5 stacks of quartz, and on day 53 I picked up a actual non-silk touch pickaxe and started mining all the quartz. This is where the fun begins. And 30 levels later, I still have a bit of quartz left too, so I can get myself some more levels in the future. Alright, on day 54, let's do a bow enchant. Just power 3? That's not gonna work. I'm gonna give it another go. Alright, take 2. That's more like it. Power 4 Infinity, what a great bow that is. And though I still need some pills, I made the decision that if I head to the stronghold, I can get them on that side of things. I have 4 Eyes of Ender for now, so let's get out there. Well, 3 Eyes of Ender. The only thing that's worth mentioning on my travels towards the stronghold is that I found myself a desert temple, but because of the dodgy world generation, it was only a quarter of a desert temple. Do what you will with this information. I did find the stronghold on day 55. Unfortunately, there is no recording of me doing so, unfortunately, and so we pick off whilst I was in the middle of searching the stronghold. Here's me finding the second library. It did have a couple of good books, which was nice. I also got myself a nice free ender pearl, which I'll never complain about. I actually noticed the end portal was actually behind this waterfall, which it looked quite cool actually. And there was only 2 eyes in, and since I have 4 already, that's 6. In case you don't know, you need 12 eyes to fill the portal, so that means I need 6 more ender pearls. At least future me will need 6 more ender pearls. For the time being, let's talk about a new update. 1.11 is next up. It was dubbed the Exploration Update. It pretty much added everything to do with woodland mansions, you know, the mobs, the totems. It also added shulker shells, which I can't believe there was a time that there was shulkers in the game without shulker shells. I didn't know that. I thought there was always one and the same. Also, llamas rather, just thought I'd mention that too. But pretty much sums up 1.11. I took up from the portal to the surface on day 56, and I need to go ahead and get myself some endermen. So it was pretty much just me waiting until the night came. Once the night did come, I actually killed 3 endermen and got 3 ender pearls straight away. Unfortunately, a creeper blew up one of the pearls, so I'm a little slowed down. Just a note for future self, by the way, trying to fight 3 endermen at the same time. Yeah, it's not the smartest play. Maybe you should be more careful. I honestly thought getting 6 pearls would take at least a couple, maybe even 3 or 4 days, but no, I actually got all 6 of them on the same night. Technically 7 if you exclude the exploded one. And so we can already go ahead and fight the dragon. And on day 57, I jumped straight into the end portal. Now, the 1.11 fight is most the same to the 1.20 fight that we're all used to. I'd say the only real difference is firstly, it does swoop down on you more occasionally to try and do some more damage to you, and it felt like it took a couple more hits than it usually would, so maybe it has a bit more health. Other than one point where it did send me flying, but luckily I'm a pro Minecraft gamer, so this MLG water bucket wasn't a problem. Oh yeah, he also turned invisible a lot. I mean, that's not really anything new, but it was really obvious here. But no matter what tactics it tries, I was able to kill it easy enough. And now to find the outer ends. Very empty out here. Does 1.11 not have endermen spawn out here? Oh no, there they are. That was weird. So admittedly, this took a minute. And when I say a minute, I actually mean an hour. And when I say an hour, I mean it's day 60, and there it is, the end city. The first thing to note, shulker shell textures are awful. Like, look at that. Who approved that? Anyway, after failing to find any loot in the end city, I headed straight over to the ship. I got myself the elytra. There was also a couple of goodies in here. It was already time to head back. But before I can head back, I need to update the version, as 1.11 is over. The new version 1.12 was called the World of Color update. It added colors like concrete and glazed terracotta. It also added colored beds and parrots, of course, the most colorful of the animals, which was really great for builders. But that's about it. That was the update. Unfortunately for 1.12, I started in the end, and so on day 61, I have to travel back, and I have a bit of a ways to go. At least I got myself a bunch of achievements. No chest plate either for some reason. So a problem arose on day 63. I got the coordinates to where I came into the end when I went through the gateway, and when I got back to those coordinates, I just couldn't seem to find the gateway again. What I had to do was go back through my footage to actually see if I could find the coordinates of the gateway, and I got it incredibly wrong. Not only did I accidentally forget the negative on my X coordinate, on my Z coordinate, I somehow got it wrong by about 400 blocks. I have no idea how, but the problem is I have gone 2,000 blocks in the wrong direction, so I'm going to need to travel even further. Wow, back here already? Jesus Christ, I even didn't get much done. The 1.13 update, in my opinion, is the first good update since 1.8, which explains the bad run that it had. Dubbed the aquatic update, it added many great things. Firstly, swimming, so it was already a W update. It was focused on vamping of the ocean, adding stuff like coral, kelp, those kind of things. It also added stripped wood, which absolutely is a 10 out of 10 update. Also tridents. Not like I really use them that much. By the time I got back home, it was day 66, or should I say night 66. I made myself a brand new chestplate on day 67. Definitely take the enchant. That's not that bad, actually. I did also do my best to create myself a really good fortune pickaxe. It is only fortune 2, but with all this, it actually is a very solid pickaxe now. I made a very basic statue to the Ender Dragon, and then I pretty much just stored the rest of my things away. It was a very exciting day, I know. I came up with a lot of future plans on day 68. The big two was, first of all, I wanted to see about killing the Wither by the end of this 100 days, and the second one is I would like to get myself to a woodland mansion. Both are going to be a lot easier when the next update rolls around, and well, you'll see why. So until then, I'm going to do my best just to buy some time. I checked out how many blocks I had to put towards the beacon. I was barely a quarter of the way done, and then I finished the day by doing a little bit more sheep slaughter. My food was actually kind of running low for the first time in who knows how long. And on day 69, to pass the time, I cut down some trees. Basically became a lumberjack to this forest. I'm gonna need a lot of wood for the upcoming task, and honestly, you know, may as well get a start on it now whilst I can't do anything else. Don't worry though, I replenished the trees. And if you're thinking on day 70, the past couple of days have gone really quick, that's because I really am just buying time until day 71, or should I say update 1.14. So I added a couple of touches to the enchant setup to actually make it look decent. It actually doesn't look that bad anymore. Anyway, let's get on to 1.14. Minecraft version 1.14, the village and pillage update, which, controversial opinion here, I actually think it did a lot of harm to Minecraft. With the updated trades and the raids so you can actually farm totems, I think it made the game very easy. It did a lot of other things than just focusing on the village and pillage, like adding bamboo and berry bushes. It of course added all the trade blocks to the villagers, which is the main reason I was waiting for 1.14. As the two trade blocks I'm focusing on is a cartography table and a grindstone. If you are able to upgrade a cartography villager, it gives you the chance to be able to trade a woodland mansion match, and since I want to find a woodland mansion, that seems like the best way to go about it. The second one is a grindstone, which I don't need a villager for the grindstone, but I just needed to replenish my sword enchant so I can actually re-enchant it to try and get looting on it. Like I say, I am wanting to find the wither soon, and so getting looting on a sword would make my life much easier. As soon as I started day 71, I realized that this was also the update that changed all the textures, so I ripped to the old ones, I guess. So let's get looting on my sword. Okay, come on now, take your time. Let's enchant again. Nope. Really? Okay, last enchant. No way. I did 9 enchants there and I didn't get looting at any point. That is ridiculous. Well, at least I have to trade a bunch and that should give me an extra couple of levels. Using the wood that I collected in the past couple of days, I started trading a bunch of sticks. And using those sticks, I got emeralds. Those emeralds, I was able to upgrade the cartographer to the point where he could trade glass. And after faffing around and getting plenty of glass panes, I was ready to get the woodland mansion. Or I would be, but my game appears to have frozen. Give it a second. Ah, there you go. The woodland mansion map is there. With the extra levels that I got on day 72, I realized I had 2 extra attempts to enchant my sword. The first take? Nope. Take 2? Really? And I was actually quite lucky to be able to scrape together enough levels to just do 1 more enchant, and oh boy, am I grateful that I did. I cannot tell you how important looting 3 is going to be. But getting the wither skulls is going to be task 2. First thing I want to do is get to that mansion. Now, I would like to remind you all that based on the generation of this world, the mansion is probably going to be very, very far away, but I ain't no quitter. Off into the world I go. The only update I can really give you on day 73 is that I've traveled about 4,000 blocks and I'm not even moved on the map. I'm still in the bottom right corner, as you can see. And another 5,000 blocks I was able to travel to by day 75. And the good news is I have now moved across the bottom of the map. The bad news is I have strongly underestimated how far I actually have to go. Well, time for a new update anyway. 1.15 is up next. The Buzzy Bee update is back to the bad update because 1.15 added bees and honey, and I guess that's it. My job is really easy today. Not like that's important though, but you know what is important on day 79? Let me be clear, 79. I set off 6 days ago and I barely slept in that time. 25,000 blocks it took. I have made a terrible mistake, but once I saw myself get onto the map and saw the woodland mansion with my own very eyes, 2.5 hours of traveling was finally going to be worth it. Let's at least take a nap for the time being. And on day 80, in we go. It took like a whole 2 minutes for me to get 2 totems and I was done. That's the only reason I wanted to go to one of the mansions, is to get a totem from the mansion. So yikes, that was that was a long journey. Never even considered that now I have to travel home. I actually have a very simple plan. What if I go into the Nether? I should be able to travel much quicker back to my center, and at the same time I can stop at a fortress and see if I can get myself some wither skulls. It didn't take me long to find myself a lava pool, and then I made myself a bottle, but I decided to not go in just yet because the next update is, well, the Nether update. 1.16 is the Nether update. Oh, you just said that. Well, thanks for taking my thunder, Haven. Basically, how you guys know the Nether now was updated in this update. Bastions, new biomes, pretty much everything that you would want in the Nether is now in the Nether. Can I just say, by the way, one of the best updates Minecraft ever had. Bravo, Mojang, you really nailed it with this one. I entered the Nether on day 81, looked at the quartz drop. Oh my god, it's so much less than 25,000 blocks that I'd have to travel. It was by the end of the same day that I was actually able to find the fortress that was basically next to my portal. So let's get in there and start killing some wither skeletons. I got the first skull by the start of day 82 and got my second skull by the end of day 82. And by the start of day 84, I was actually able to get my last skull. That would be my third. We can finally go home after all this traveling. Subspace bubble, you say? Yeah, you're not kidding. Day 85, and let's do this. It's about time I finally get to use my god apple. I've been holding on to this, but hey, get back gear. My gear felt like it was pretty good, but I don't know. I felt like I wasn't doing as much damage as I'm used to. It still wasn't an issue, but still, we got there. Now we can make the beacon. We just need to make the blocks for the beacon and we would be good to go. I am also, for the first time in I don't know how many days, actually quite low on food, so I had to stop for a second and kill some sheep. And because I no longer have fire aspect, I have looting instead. I now actually need to wait for the food to cook. Well, whilst I'm doing that, let me introduce the new update. 1.17's caves and cliffs update was kind of a letdown. They added amethyst geodes, copper, azaleas, and candles, but most of this update was saved until 1.18, which was a bit disappointing, but hey, at least we got ourselves an update. I did the maths on day 86. I need about 18 stacks of pure iron to actually make the blocks needed. So basically, we have a lot of caving to do. So I headed down the staircase that I made about, what, 80 plus days ago and started mining a bunch of iron. This definitely took a while. Here's the update on day 90. I had 15 stacks of iron, so we are making good progress here. But before progress could continue, Dr. Havenhand here to talk about 1.18, where they actually added the caves in the new Deep Slate caves and the cliffs in the mountains to the caves and cliffs update. That pretty much sums up 1.18. Like, yeah. By the end of day 92, I had got my 18th stack of iron and I can head back home. It was on day 93 where I began cooking all the iron. I'm going to be honest with you, what you're seeing right now of me replenishing the iron and taking the iron out the furnace was pretty much what I did the entire day. Took a bit of patience, but I don't really mind doing that. I am surprised it did take the entire day. I thought I'd get it done quicker, but there you go. And with one block extra on day 94, I was done. The last test that I wanted to do, would I be able to get myself full netherite? I have exactly enough gold to be able to do that, so straight into the nether to get some. Took me until day 95 to find some new nether terrain, and now I started mining myself some netherite. I felt like I was going to get this done pretty quickly considering I got some straight away. Before we end this video, we need to talk about one last update, 1.19, and boy was this a wild update. Mangrove swamps are deep dark. Those also frogs, I guess, but that pretty much sums up 1.19. Oh yeah, the last piece of ancient debris to be able to be done here, that got that on day 98. And it was on day 99, and well, I got all the debris cooked. I made myself full netherite, and I was officially done in this world. I realized I made a mistake though. I said at the start of the video I would start in 1.0 and finish in 1.20, and I kind of mismatched it. So here we are on day 100 where, hey guys, 1.20. I didn't like the start of the video. Okay, bye.